Yo guys, what's going on? This is Harry Talks Movies and TV, and I thought since it's Comic-Con this weekend that it would be fun to rank or to put all the DCEU movies in a tier list from worst to best. So let's get into it. So first, before I start, I want to say there will be spoilers in this video, so here's a quick warning about that. And also, this is the only template I could find that had all of them on there, so that's why the categories are not, usually it would be S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, F tier, D tier. It'd be that kind of stuff. But this was the only one I could find that had Peacemaker on it. So yeah, the categories are from worst to best, as you can see. Stay the fuck away from me and my family. And so that's the worst one. And then bad, then meh, then good, then amazing, then just wow. I have a feeling a lot of these are going to fall under the meh category. So I'm going to go from left to right. And yeah, I'm just going to talk briefly about them, and then rank them, and how much I like them. Okay, so starting off with Aquaman. Aquaman. Because I haven't thought about this before I started this. So I think Aquaman is actually really underrated. I want to say that Aquaman is one of my favorite DCEU movies. And yeah, so I'm going to start by putting it in the amazing section. It's not just wow, because I think there's only there's not many things on this list that make just wow, but amazing for Aquaman. Aquaman's amazing. It has top tier action, man. I think the action really just gets me. And yeah, I mean, aside from all the Amber Heard stuff, I just, when I watch that movie, I try to ignore all of that and just look at Mira, not necessarily Amber Heard. So yeah, Aquaman is amazing for me. I thought it's just so good. The villains, I think the villain's fun. Willem Dafoe's great. Jessamine Moll's great. Nicole Kidman, the whole lot of it, the action, the Black Manta. It's a really good movie. I think it's severely underrated and does not get talked about enough. Now, next up is Batman vs Superman. I'm not going to do the Ultimate Edition at the end because I have not seen that. But the regular theatrical version of Batman vs Superman, I like it. I am not a huge fan of it, but I definitely like it more than, because a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like the Zack Snyder era of DC, which I'm not a huge fan of myself either. Anyway, well, you'll see when I get to my other stuff. But yeah, Batman vs Superman, it's got some awesome action. It's got some badass lines. It's got really cool concepts, really cool themes. With I like the conflict between Batman and Superman. With Batman's, his whole thing is, a man without a amount of power shouldn't be left unchecked or something. It's I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember. I do like this movie quite a bit. I do like how it introduces the Flash and Wonder Woman. So yeah, I like the ending of it as well. That last battle between Wonder Woman, but the last battle with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman is really awesome. So yeah, Batman vs Superman is good. Although I do think the Martha scene was stupid. I understand what he was trying to do, but I understand that scene. A lot of people say if you don't like that scene, you just don't understand it. No, I fully understand it. I just don't like it. I think it is stupid. So yeah. Next up, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is going in the amazing section for me. I actually really love Birds of Prey. I think it's definitely one of the best DCEU movies. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. This movie was, I say this about a lot of movies, but it was really fun. It was really fun. It had some great action. It was really funny as well. The Huntress was really funny. Harley Quinn was really funny. A lot of it was just really funny. The villain was a bit meh. Black Mask. Is that his name? Black Mask? Black Skulls? Black Mask, I think. He's kind of meh. So yeah, I'm not very interested in Black Mask. But overall, this movie was really, really great. And I really love this movie. Maybe it might even be in the Just Wow section. But for now, I'm just going to leave it in the amazing section. Next up is Justice League. The theatrical version, I'm putting it straight in bad. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I've seen this movie once, and that was when I saw it in the cinema. And I just didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. I don't care about this movie. That's the thing. I just didn't care about it. I wasn't interested in the characters anymore. It just, Cyborg's story was rushed. The Flash was everything felt. I've only seen the movie once, but from what I remember, it was just a bad experience. I felt like the writing was sloppy. I felt like it was, there was quippy one-liners added everywhere. Look, I hate to say this, but it tried to be too much like Avengers. I'm sorry. They saw what the success that Marvel had with Avengers, and they tried very hard to recreate that, and they just couldn't. So yeah, that's my opinion on Justice League. I do not care about that movie. I think it's actually quite bad, quite a bad movie. So yeah, next up is Man of Steel. I'm putting it in the meh section, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but I don't care, because it's pretty meh of a movie. I've only seen it like twice in my life, and it never hooked me. It never sat with me right. It never landed for me. I barely, to be honest with you, I haven't seen it in about like 4 or 5 years. I don't remember much from that movie. I just remember not liking it. I think Zack Snyder, in particular, I didn't like Army of the Dead. I didn't like, I don't like a lot of his other movies. I didn't like Watchmen. I just hate to say it, but I'm not a big Snyder fan, I'm not a Snyder hater. I'm sure he's a great person, but I'm just not a big fan of Zack Snyder. But I don't dislike all of his movies. You'll see coming on the list, there's a movie of his that I think is okay. So yeah, Man of Steel, it's not. Honestly, I like Superman and Lois a lot better than Man of Steel, and I've only seen one season of that. So yeah, next up is Shazam. Shazam is going. I have to decide, because I feel like if this goes in just wow, then Birds of Prey has to go in just wow, because I feel like I like these movies an equal amount. Okay, for now I'm just going to stick to putting it in amazing. Shazam is amazing. I really love this movie. Zachary Levi is so great. It's really funny. I think it's got some pretty cool action. The villain is not very interesting though. Mark Strong is the villain, and the 7 Deadly Sins, that wasn't really interesting. I liked the whole foster family thing, although the end where they all became superheroes was a little bit cringe. But yeah, I did really love this movie. I think the kid actor who plays Billy Batson, like the child version of him, I think he does a really good job. I think Jack Dylan Grazer, as I don't remember the character's name, but I think he does a really good job. So yeah, I think this movie is actually really good, and not a lot of people talk about this movie, and a lot of people don't talk about Aquaman either. It's just, yeah, it's disappointing that it doesn't get as much attention as it deserves, because it really is a great movie. Next up is Suicide Squad. I think we all know where this is going. Stay the fall, actually, because there is one element of this movie I like, so I'll put it in bad. I don't like this movie, but I like Harley Quinn. She's the only thing in this movie that I like. I've seen it like 3 times, and each time it gets worse. Apparently, from what I've heard, they hired an editing company, like a trailer editing company, to edit the entire movie. That's why it feels very weird, and that's why it's not paced very right. So that's probably one of the reasons that it doesn't sit quite well with me. But yeah, so that's disappointing. Also, I actually did learn something about this movie, is that the girl who plays Katana is Kimiko on The Boys. I did not realize that, and I thought, yeah, that's just a fun fact. Enchantress was I think a really bad, boring villain, although she did have some cool visuals. I think Deadshot, I like the story with Deadshot and his daughter. I thought it was kind of sweet. So yeah, maybe Harley Quinn and Deadshot, I liked in this movie. Although, one thing I don't like about this movie is how it seems to center around Deadshot. Like, I feel like the whole movie was about Deadshot, and it's like, okay, if you're going to make an ensemble movie, obviously it needs to have a center, but I feel like he was really in the center. Although I did find his story with his daughter kind of sweet. So yeah, Suicide Squad, Killer Croc, I was not interested in. Captain Boomerang, he was a little funny, that's about it. Yeah, it just, I can't remember the other members, to be honest, because it didn't stick with me, and it wasn't very good. So yeah, Next up is Wonder Woman 84. I am going to put it in the meh section, even though I did like it more than Man of Steel. This might be just because of recency bias, and because I have seen it, like, I saw it more recent than I saw Man of Steel. I think Cheetah's a really good villain. I think she's underrated. Not really good. I thought she wasn't as bad as everybody said she was. Kristen Wiig I thought she was actually really fun. Although the end of it was just not very good at all. I bet it's not memorable at all. The Golden Eagle suit, is it an eagle? I can't remember. The golden suit looks terrible. And yeah, it wasn't very good. There was a lot of creepy things with, like, Chris Pine, the character, I don't know his name, Steve Taylor? I think, I'll just say Steve, I know his name's Steve. Steve taking over someone else's body and puppeteering him around while Wonder Woman kissed him, and I think I'm not sure if she had sex with him in the movie, I can't remember, it's been like 2 years or a year since I watched it, but yeah, that was creepy. Pedro Pascal's character, though, was, the stuff with his son was kind of nice. It was kind of, it made me feel for him, but overall he just wasn't interesting, and a lot of the stuff in the movie wasn't interesting. Then it just didn't stick with me, and I felt boring. I think the funnest bits were with Cheetah, Kristen Wiig. Those were the funnest bits of the movie, and the start of the movie. I like the start of the movie a little bit. I'm not going to get into it, but I do like the start of this movie. Overall, this movie is just meh, because it just feels like a big step down from the last one. So, this is an unpopular opinion, I know, but I'm going to put Wonder Woman in just good. It's not amazing for me, and it's not just wow. It's just good. It's good. It's not meh. It's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, because I saw it like 2 years ago. And yeah, I think it's good. It is very good. The action is top tier. I think what I sort of don't like about the whole Wonder Woman thing is the Steve Taylor stuff. I don't really buy their relationship, and I don't really like it, to be honest. I feel like Chris Pine didn't really need to be in these movies. So yeah, there's that. But I thought the villain in this movie was really cool. I thought that the end of this movie, the final battle, is beautiful. It's really, really good. I love this. If there's one thing I love about Wonder Woman 84, about Wonder Woman, is the score, her theme. I'm not going to sing it, but it sounds really cool, and it really elevates the material for me. So yeah, Wonder Woman 84, Wonder Woman 2017, or technically Wonder Woman 1940 or something, whenever it takes place. It's good. It's a good movie. I enjoy it quite a bit, and I'm excited for Wonder Woman 3, because maybe it'll be as good as Wonder Woman 1. So yeah, next up I'm going to go Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm still debating whether to put it in good or meh, because I don't know. I feel like, but it does have redeeming qualities. Okay, I'm gonna put it in good. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna put it in good. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a definite improvement, but that's what it is. It's just an improvement of a bad movie. Like, it feels really long. I felt way too long, and it just feels like an improvement of a plot that I wasn't really that interested in to begin with. However, what I will say is that I like this movie. I do. I had a good time with it. It did make me more interested in the plot. It made me more interested in Cyborg, especially. His story was really cool, with what he did for that woman with the money and stuff. I thought that was more interesting, gave us more depth to the characters. I thought Steppenwolf's redesign looked really cool. The stuff at the end with Darkseid was cool. The black suit on Superman was really awesome. So, I'm not going to talk about it for too long, because it's a 4-hour movie, and if I go in depth about it, I would just be talking for ages. So, yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League is a definite improvement. However, it is just a better version of a bad movie, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Now we get to the Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn, and it's going to go right here. Just wow. It's my favourite DC DCEU movie. It really is. James Gunn, there's something about him that just makes great films. He's just a great filmmaker. This movie was so fucking good. It's such a shame that it flopped at the box office. No one saw it, but it was so good. I've rewatched it so many times. It's so good. Bloodsport. See, when I talk about a center, like an ensemble movie that does have a center, Bloodsport is a great example of that, because he does not take up the entire movie like Deadshot did. I understand that Bloodsport basically is just another version of Deadshot. He's the guns, he's got the daughter. It's sort of similar. It's sort of a similar thing, but they play it very differently. And Bloodsport was much more interesting than Deadshot. So yeah, the end villain with Starro is just amazing. The music is amazing. The score is amazing. The characters are amazing. Harley Quinn is so good. John Cena is the best, or at that point he was the best he'd ever been. And yeah, King Shark is hilarious. Polka Dot Man. How do you make me feel for Polka Dot Man? Like, oh my god, Rick Flag's death at the end. That just everything was just it was superb. I would give it a 100% rating, because I can't really think of a flaw, to be honest with you. So yeah, the Suicide Squad is fantastic, and I love it. Now, Peacemaker, they're basically a spin-off of Suicide Squad, and it's gonna go right here. I had to get the mouse up there. Peacemaker is absolutely brilliant. It is my third favorite show of the year, but that's like obviously usually it'd be number one, but we got Stranger Things and Severance this year, so like those two kind of pushed it out of the number one spot. Peacemaker was fucking awesome. Every fucking episode was just so fucking good. Every episode. I can't think of one episode I disliked. I know I talked about this in my top 10 series of the year video, which go check that out if you haven't already. It was just so good. James Gunn, what is wrong with James Gunn that makes him make such great films? What is right with James Gunn that makes him make such great films and TV shows? Like, he wrote, I think, almost every episode, and he directed a lot of the episodes. And yeah, John Cena was the best he's ever been in this show. Every side character I cared about. I suppose maybe Harcourt was a little bit stereotypical for me, but like, yeah. But the whole thing with the butterflies, just the way the show is paced, the stuff with his dad about his past trauma and stuff. It was just Vigilante is awesome. Leota's awesome. Mern was great. Just yeah, really really great show, and I'm so excited for season 2, bro. You have no idea how excited I am for season 2. Peacemaker, Peacemaker is great. It's top third best show of the year for me so far. It's going to be hard to push it out of the top, to push it out of the top 3. It was great. So yeah, that's the end of this video. This is my DCEU tier ranking. By the way, if this was just a DC tier ranking, the Batman would be above all of these, but this is just DCEU. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.